everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned in to the NFL on EA Sports. We've got two running backs who are hoping for plenty of running lanes on the field today. It's Joe Mixon's Bengals going up against Leonard Fournette's Jaguars. With that, it's time to hook up with our commentators in the booth. So we turn it over to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Larry, first opened in 1995. There's a look inside Everbank Field here in the River City of Jacksonville, Florida. A few minutes prior to us coming on air, this crowd was jolted into action with the introduction of these Jaguars. They're set for football as the Jags are ready to match up with the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everyone. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. With me, as always, Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at a matchup like this. It's really the running backs that may take center stage here today.
And in today's football, they're still valuable, not just as runners, but guys who can catch the ball as well. It's really the number of touches that determines things these days.
Josh Lambo now ready to put this one in the air. And off we go from Jacksonville. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. Here comes Cincinnati's offense. Andy Dalton will lead them. And coming off their second loss to the Steelers this season, now the Bengals at 2-4. And it was a tough day for Dalton. Finished 17 of 30, 140 yards. And what was the number you said about the second half for the Bengals?
Yeah, only 19 total yards in the second half. Couldn't run the ball effectively, and that's a big part of the Bengals offense. They've got to get that part figured out because without that run game, Andy Dalton's effectiveness really is decreased.
Now the rookie from Oklahoma, it's Joe Mixon. He takes this for 3 to the 29. And here are the starters. Charles, what are your thoughts on Jeremy Hill?
He provides a thump in this offense. A great runner who goes inside and establishes a tone for his team.
So the offense now dealing with a 2nd and 7. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And his throw is incomplete. Brandon LaFell, his intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down. Here's the defense for Jacksonville, or get ready, pun haters, Saxonville, after they had, 10 sacks this last week in their win over Indianapolis?
10 against Indianapolis, which absolutely totally disrupts any type of offense you're trying to run. Jacoby Brissett under siege the entire game. They got 33 sacks now in the season. That leads the league. The second-place team, the Pittsburgh Steelers, with 24. And remember, Pittsburgh is also known as Blitzburg. So if they can beat Blitzburg, Jacksonville could definitely be Saxonville, and that type of pass rush, they could ride that all the way to the playoffs.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
Now the left-footed punter in his 9th year, Kevin Huber on to kick. Back deep for the Jaguars, Marquise Lee. Dances by him. It'll wind up being a net of 41. 9-yard return, 50 on the punt. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Out onto the field comes Jacksonville's offense, and Blake Bortles has to be feeling good after what he did against Indianapolis last week in the shutout win. Threw for 330 yards, scored a touchdown. It was a really good performance for him.
Not only does he have to feel good about it, how about the team, the organization as a whole? Because that's the Blake Bortles that they need. A guy who can hit the big passes, take care of the football, limit the turnovers, the guy that they need to lead this team, and he showed up this past Sunday.
the rookie first-rounder from LSU. It's Leonard Fournette across the 30 to the 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Offensively, as we see the starters for the Jags, a crew last week without Leonard Fournette, but the running game, it still stepped up, didn't it?
It certainly did, because T.J. Yeldon, who they had drafted in prior years to be that lead running back, he put up 128 yards and a 58-yard touchdown run on just 9 carries. Also supplemented by Blake Bortles having a big day throwing the ball with 330 yards. So this is a team now that realizes they'll rely on their defense, want their offense to control the game running it, and that means head coach Doug Marrone not letting his ego get in the way, playing the way that they need to play to win ball games.
And the Bengals starting defensive unit now.
Geno Atkins battled some injuries in 2015 and was challenged to get back to his form, and he did exactly that in 2016. Back to the Pro Bowl. Size, strength, agility, and also a competitive streak that rivals anyone's in the league.
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on third. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
As aggressive as Cincinnati is on defense, I was surprised that they only had 33 sacks last season.
Yeah, bottom half of the NFL.
I think that helped contribute to them not making the playoffs. Remember, they had a nice little run going. That's the first time they missed in the last 6.
Brad Nortman in his 6th year in the league on to punt it away. Back deep for the Bengals, Adam Jones. Here's Jones. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll start here with a give to Mixon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. It's a gain of 13, and the Bengals have a 1st down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the 2nd and the 3rd levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the 1st quarter.
The play fake to Hill. Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. And nearly picked it off. He had a chance to come down with that in the end zone, but it'll wind up just being incomplete.
I know I'm not giving enough credit to the defenders because that pass was incomplete. But come on, it was A.J. Green. I always expect him to come up with the ball.
Yeah, on those deep routes especially, even on incompletions, it's fun to watch him run those routes.
It certainly is. Boy, he eats up ground, and he usually goes up and gets it.
They'll go option on second down, right side. And past the 30, down to about the 27. The keeper gets him 7 that time, but it'll lead to a third down.
Oh, man, that wasn't far from breaking in a big way into the secondary. Read option, quarterback kept it. And while he didn't get a first down, he did get a nice chunk of yardage. Only a nice tackle prevented it from maybe going all the way.
And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on third down. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down.
You absolutely have to have this early on, right? Third and short, they elect to throw for it, and that's normal NFL football. They're going to throw on third and short, but you've got to hit it, don't you?
Yeah, in the first quarter, like you said, to set the tone, can't connect there. And Bullock will put this one through, and the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So it's a 7-play drive, but it stalls out in the end.
Let's credit the defensive front seven. They were a little leaky at the start of the drive, but they stiffened toward the end.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And a 3-and-out on that first drive. We'll see if they can do better here.
They should have a better opportunity because the nerves should be settled now. That first series, everybody goes out with a little extra emotion. So now they get a chance to go back out and say, okay, now we're into the game. Let's go play and play as best we can.
You almost get a mulligan then on that first drive?
Sometimes it absolutely serves that way. You get a second opportunity. Nothing big happened. But then again, you didn't commit any mistakes either. Off you go.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down. They'll run it again with Fournette. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
Eight yards still remaining here on third down. Shotgun now for Bortles. And that is incomplete. He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
Here's Brad Nordman now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. Jones on the return. 51 yards on the punt there. So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. And the grab by Croft. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Took him 5 tries, but he is able to complete that first pass of the game.
And could you hear the exhale all the way up here? Not just from him, coaching staff, offensive line, receivers. Now he's off the schneid. Can they get him going in a nice groove where he becomes a little more consistent throwing the football?
Because you miss those first 2, but you get up the 0 for 4 range. That can be a little tricky, but able to settle in, hopefully.
Yeah, now you won't have any confidence issues. Now you can kind of get it back even with just one throw.
This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And give him a gain of 37. So we have now seen connection number 1 between Dalton and Adriel Jeremiah, A.J. Green.
Say that again?
Adriel Jeremiah.
Look at you. You are full of knowledge and information. And you know something? I bet Andy Dalton learned his full name as well, because he figured out quickly, this is going to be my number 1 target. I got to know this guy in a big way.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. So Dalton now. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he's brought down. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't they?
Yeah, when we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree and getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Fresh set of downs here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
Second down, Dalton. And it's caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Croft from 6 yards away. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. On for the point after is Randy Bullock. It's up and good, and that'll increase their lead to 10-zip. The drive summary that time, 5 plays. And it ends with a Bengals score. Bullock out now to kick this one away. To return it is Corey Grant. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now out come the Jags.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
They begin with a run by Fournette. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
In today's NFL, you hear all the time about stretching the field and creating space in order to run plays. A toss play will help accomplish that because now you're pushing a defense to chase you all the way to the edges and to the sideline. That's a nice run, probing now early to try and get things done later.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Like so many tight ends nowadays, they have no problem at all putting him in the slot and letting him go to work. And that's a nice pitch and catch right there for a first down.
Fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Vontaze Burfict. Not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. He'll get 3, but it leaves him with a big hole here on 3rd and very long.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On 3rd and long, it's Bortles. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. So a change of possession here on the punt. Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. The drive will commence with a run by Mixon. A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
2nd down following the run. Again, it's Mixon. And an alley to run. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati first down. Well, they're making a real first quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on first down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
And now to the air. Dalton. Green with a catch left side. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Dalton to Green for a Cincinnati first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. Now prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 10-zip our score. More from Jacksonville after this. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. Mixon. And he's going to get this inside the 30. That one good for 15, and the Bengals get a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Mixon. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
How about the defense not hanging their heads from the previous play where they were beat for a big run, came back on the very next down, and made a play defensively that was to their credit.
Dalton to Hill on the draw. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
On a second and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on third down.
Passing, it's Dalton. Under pressure, and he'll go down. Sacked back at the 31. Calais Campbell in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. He was trying to keep his eyes downfield. Nobody came open.
He's trying to do everything that he had been taught, right? Every bit of the technique. But if no one's open, there is no technique except make sure you hold on to the ball as you go to the ground when you're getting sacked.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. He made his first, this from 47 yards out. And Bullock will put this one through, and that'll push the lead up to 13-0. So as it turns out, that sack does not wind up costing him, at least in terms of getting points. They get 3.
Yeah, once you see your quarterback go down the backfield, you think, uh-oh. But fortunately for them, their kicker came to the rescue and made sure they got something out of that drive after all.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And here is Blake Bortles as we focus in on him for our player spotlight. And I guess the question, Charles, is what's the formula for keeping him better protected? Because as we see, the protection, it struggled.
And normally what you get is renewed determination. When the big guy gets hit, that usually sparks people. Hey, we can't let this happen anymore. They take it personally. He's not supposed to be on the ground, but that hasn't been the case so far in this game. So maybe they've got to figure out how do they get rid of the ball faster to help out the offensive line so he doesn't get hit as much.
And we'll see if they can keep him off the ground now going forward. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. And the catch made here by Marquise Lee. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
The Jaguars on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, it's Bortles. A dump off for Ivory. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
The Jaguars on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 19. To throw, it's Bortles. Underneath to Ivory. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height. Sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
Oh, a heck of a move.
Man.
That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And a look at Jeremy Hill as he heads back out there now. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. And boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
They'll go option to the short side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st.
And what a weapon to have when you can use your quarterback as a short yardage runner and pick up 1st downs.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives him a new set of downs. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another 1st down. It will.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
they go play action here on first down. On the right side, caught by Green. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. 23 yards on the play. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Dalton operating in the red zone now. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they're going to lose some on this play. Being knocked back to the 18. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
You know the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, blocking eventually. But first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Play fake. Here's Dalton. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And unfortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play.
Well, that was a big oops right there. But how about his ability to correct it? Loses the football, able to get it back himself.
Yeah, pounced right back on it, keeps possession. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton here from the gun. Underneath, this is Bernard. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. From the left hash, it's a 42-yard attempt. And Bullock will put this one through, and that's going to make this a 16-0 ball game. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high, as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Okay, can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. After the field goal, now it's Bullock to kick it away. This one taken from the 7. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
On first down, Bortles. He finds Hearns left side. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars. Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Lewis. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
Fournette, a first down carry. And some room to roam now. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
And Leonard Fournette impressing there with that run. It's hard to believe that no Jacksonville Jaguar has broken 1,000 yards since Maurice Jones-Drew in 2011. I think Leonard Fournette could be that guy.
Even with the ankle injury last year at LSU, still averaged 6.5 yards per carry.
And absolutely intimidated opposing defenses. A lot of guys simply didn't want to tackle him.
They keep it with Fournette on first down. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Going to run the draw with Fournette. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, when you go from 2nd and 4 to 3rd and 3, that just tells you who won that battle on the last play, huh?
Yeah, first round went to the offense, second round the defense. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not good, 0 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Working from the gun, it's Bortles. And Lewis has it, the tight end. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more from Jacksonville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this. When halftime rolls around in just a bit, we'll send you to Orlando. You will hear the dulcet tones of Mr. Larry Ridley with our EA Sports halftime report.
Does dulcet mean good?
Yeah, it's just something that broadcasters say. It's got to be good, right?
It's got to be good.
You tell me.
Well, it's got to be good if Larry's doing it.
So on 4th down, Doug Marrone going to send out his field goal unit. From the right hash, it's a 38-yard attempt. And Lambeau will put this one through, and they'll at least get on the board here, still trailing, but 16-3 now. So a good snap, good hold, and that one's right down the middle.
Never in doubt. Just the way you used to hit them, Brandon.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Dalton, 1st and 10. Now he's hit, and Dalton lost the football. And a 1st and goal coming up here inside the 10-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. Didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, let's just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
The Jags offense now gets set and heads back onto the field. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
They'll be going for 6. And the next snap coming inside the red zone here. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Bortles. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. On 2nd down, here's Bortles. And he's going to be dropped back at the 15-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Ivory. And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage back at the 17. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This will be a 34-yard attempt. Put this one through, and the lead is down to 10 now at 16-6. So they recover the fumble in plus position, but they can't go anywhere. In fact, they go backwards, but they do get a field goal out of it.
They'll take the 3, but in a lot of ways, they feel like they let themselves down by not capitalizing, and they definitely let the defense down for getting the key turnover.
Now after the made field goal, back out Lambeau to kick this one off. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Oh, he shifts past him. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's in his zone, 2nd quarter, already closing in on a 100-yard game.
And that's the magic number for a running back. Anytime you get to that triple digits, that's all you're looking for. But he's got a chance to really exceed that in this one.
Yeah, he does. That's been the gold standard for a long time, hasn't it, that 100-yard mark?
It really has, and that never has to shift because it's in a game. It's a 1,000-yard mark. I'm wondering, since we've gone from 12 to 14 to 16 games, maybe we need to up that a little.
Mixon gets the nod to start the drive. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with a tick under a minute to go before half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. Here's Kevin Huber now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And after the field goal last time, let's see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them want to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Bortles now on first down. Dumps it off to Fournette. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. Clock running as Bortles hurries to try to get his guys set. Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. Now he's hit, and Bortles fumbled. It's loose, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line.
Another tough one there for Blake Bortles, partner. 2015, led the league in fumbles as a quarterback, had 14 of them. But you just expect that to get better with experience in the league and, of course, better support from his offensive line. In this case, though, he kind of reverted back to that year.
Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the second quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. And they'll start this drive with very good field position. Let's see what Dalton can do after the fumble recovery. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And welcome back, the offensive unit. They took the timeout, and now they get set to line up as we resume action. So on second down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. This will be kicked from the 42. It's a 52-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage of the second quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
Now on first down. Airing it out for Hearns. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 2. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. I'm Larry Ridley. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Jaguars trail at home at halftime. The Bengals have come in and looked good as the road team. And we'll just keep trying to play hard and maintain the lead going forward. All right, let's get straight to it. Here's some highlights from the first half. Down to the middle of the first. Croft is wide open, able to make the grab. And this 4-play drive goes for a touchdown. The Bengals push the lead to 10. Now first and 10. There's going to be a fumble here. This ends up as a huge loss in yardage.
Okay, Larry, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But this is
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Throwing is Bortles. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. The veteran tight end Mercedes Lewis, the intended receiver. And now it's second down. Well, Charles, peeking back at Week 7 of the NFL season, as always, had some top performances. You and I were discussing Zeke Elliott off air, 3 touchdowns, 147 yards rushing. Who else did you like?
Oh, I liked Eddie Jackson in Chicago. The rookie free safety out of Alabama. 2 defensive touchdowns, over 75 yards each. That's an NFL record. I'm sorry, Ms. Jackson. Eddie's for real.
And then Amari Cooper over 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he finally broke out. All we were talking about heading into that game was what's going on with Amari Cooper. Is he being targeted enough? Is he catching the ball enough? What's going on? Well, he broke out in a big way and announced his presence with authority once again.
So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. Again, it's Fournette. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
I'm wondering, partner, if they might need to sub him out for a play or two, because after that long run he just had on the previous play, he might not have all of his breath back.
Yeah, and they went right back to that well. Different result. See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down. Bortles on the give to Fournette. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
And while there is no gain on that run, we do know coaches whose identity is rooted in taking it almost to the limit and then changing things up on you down the stretch. I think we're getting really close to that point in time, though, where the identity may have to go out the window, and they've got to go a little bit faster in order to try and win the game.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. They're struggling. 0 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. The play fake to Ivory. Now Bortles. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
And here we go on 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Ivory. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Bortles to throw on 2nd down. Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Jalen Strong from 3 yards out. And the Jaguars are back within a score. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
So this drive spans 7 plays, and it results in a touchdown for Jacksonville. here's Lambeau out to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Now they run with Mixon. And not much. Maybe a yard up to the 29.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. 9 yards still remaining here to pick up the first on second down. On second down, there's the option going left. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
I don't think there's any doubt that if it's me, I'd be really cautious about continuing to call this play because you got to know, defenders, if they get a free shot at the QB, they want to take it, and they want to take it big.
And they got it there on the option play for a loss. The Bengals on third down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is third down and 12. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Oh, you saw that one coming. It's intercepted. Thrown back across his body. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
When you're in man coverage, you have help over the top, you become a much more confident defender. Trail the receiver and know that someone over the top can make a play, and that's exactly what happened here. The free safety coming up with the interception.
Now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. It's a quick turnaround for them after the turnover, but the way they moved it on their last drive, they're probably eager to get right back at it.
And you know me and you know my tendencies in this situation. What do I want right now?
Be aggressive.
Be aggressive. Take your shot right here.
Trying to get the run game going. This is Fournette. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Throwing now is Bortles. Completes it to Hearns. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. Bortles on the hook up to Hearns for the Jaguar first down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Fournette on the counter, and he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
The insistence of speed at every position is really seen at the defensive end spot. These guys in the old days were often outside linebackers. They just pushed them forward because they wanted to play fast and get to the quarterback or the running backs quicker than ever before.
Fake to Fournette. Now it's Bortles to throw. He's going to air one out. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third.
Tremendous field position there and a perfect time to do exactly what they did. Take a shot at the end zone. And they went for the big play, just unable to complete it.
The Jaguars on third down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is third down and 12. On play action, now Bortles. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Carlos Dunlap in there with pressure yet again, and that's the 7th time they've dropped him here this afternoon.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Here's Brad Nordman now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They'll start by running the option to the right. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Not a big run on the first play of the drive, but that doesn't necessarily mean it was a bad play. Sometimes you're just trying to settle in, get your guys a little bit of contact, and get things moving.
Second down following the run. Operating from the gun. Dalton, and the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
That's a first down if he holds on, but you saw the contact, able to jar it free from him and force a fourth down.
Great play defensively there, as you said, just to knock it free, because if he had caught that, pass the sticks, first down. Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. Taken in at the 22. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Throwing on first down is Bortles. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
It's vitally important to wrap him up immediately, because if you let that big guy get a head of steam up, boy, then you've got real trouble trying to get him down.
But they're able to hold him to a short gain on first down. Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. From the gun, it's Bortles. And his throw here's incomplete. He was looking to get it to Allen Hurns that time. And it's third down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
The Jaguars on third down. Just one conversion in 8 tries. Not good. This is 3rd and 7. Now a play fake. Bortles airing it out for Hurns. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4.
The best receivers we know always tease their quarterbacks that, hey, no matter what you do, you cannot overthrow me. Well, guess what? That's exactly what happened on that play. Normally, they time it up pretty well, but on that one, he just overshot him.
Here's Brad Nortman now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. Joe Mixon and the rest of his offense making their way back onto the field. So after that hot start, the numbers here show the decline. What has the defense done adjustment-wise?
Sometimes when you have a running back who's gotten off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles, gaps, and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
They'll run here with Mixon. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And he'll give it here to his running back. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On second down, Hill. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. And the Bengals on 3rd down, as bad as you can be. 0 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. He loses 4, and it brings up 4.
They tried to run right into the teeth of the defense on 3rd down, but looked like those teeth were pretty sharp.
They were having absolutely none of it. Stuffed them for a loss.
Yeah, couldn't get any leverage up front and move people aside in order to run the ball.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. This is away and a very good kick, angled for the sidelines. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And tough starting field position here. Here's a give to Fournette. And he's going to lose yardage here back at the 8. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
It's real easy to say this running game needs to be better, but the reality is they've been given little time to actually find a place to run the football. It's almost like the defense is there on the handoff.
And they're behind the sticks here a bit now, dealing with a 2nd and 12. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one up to about the 13. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 7 left.
But you've got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. A pretty anemic, a very anemic 1 for 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Bortles now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. Well, not to get too overcritical there because he knows what he's doing, but his shoulders looked a little off kilter there when he threw that.
I don't think you're being overly critical there. You're just analyzing it, and he gets those shoulders right. That pass will go from incomplete to complete.
Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. Here's Jones. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the 3rd quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them, melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly.
Dalton on the draw to Mixon. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the third quarter has come to a close. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. They go play action here on first down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. And that'll bring up second down.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. He's going to sling this deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up, because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
Now, Bengals on 3rd down. It has been a disaster. 0 for 8 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
So now Randy Bullock with an important field goal try here. This from 54 yards away. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. So they get the 3 here, but you wonder whether that's going to be enough.
Yeah, I mean, you've now made it so they need a touchdown rather than a field goal to catch them. But you're right. If they'd gotten 6 out of that drive, this would be a much different game.
After the field goal now, it's Bullock to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Uses the stiff arm. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. On 1st and 10, here's Bortles. Wide open receiver complete. 23 yards on the play. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
On play action, it's Bortles. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
You know, every time we talk with people about the most important quality for a quarterback to have in the NFL, what do they usually cite?
Arm strength.
Yeah, that's really way down on the list. Accuracy is one of the bigger ones, maybe the foremost one. That's what he needed on that play.
Single, that's single slot, Watch 89.
Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Bortles. And they'll set up shop right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Blake Bortles simply cannot keep putting his defense in these types of predicaments. He's got to take care of the football.
And last season, a lot of the turnovers, just like this one, in Jags territory, 11 of the 16 really put them in a tough spot in plus territory for the opposition. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. Give him 17 and a Cincinnati 1st down.
Well, it may seem a little unorthodox to some people. Got the lead, 4th quarter, yet he's still firing away. I think he believes that's the best way to go ahead and win the game.
Yeah, a lot of coaches say, let's just run the football, be conservative. He's sticking to his game plan.
No, that is his game, and that's what they're going to ride.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And not much running room. Down to the 32. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying it is one thing. We can second guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
On 3rd down, Dalton. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. The 20. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. He also had an interception return for a touchdown last year. Another one there. What's the goal for a defensive back? One a season?
One a season is really
fantastic.
Way more than you would expect. I mean, guys set those types of goals, but rarely are they reached. Rarely they achieved. To be able to pull it off back-to-back seasons, who says no one makes house calls anymore?
Lambeau on for the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. On the return, it's Alex Erickson. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So the last one didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position and not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Dalton right back on the horse after the pick six. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
Offense still needing 10 yards. Second down. To throw again. Dalton. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Brandon LaFell, the intended receiver. And it's third down.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down.
Now the Bengals on third down. An almost unimaginable 0 for 10 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now Dalton. He drops it off for Bernard. And they'll get him down here at the 23. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Getting set to go again, Blake Bortles marches back onto the field with his offense. He's had quite the turnaround, Charles. At the start of the game, passing game was a little bit of a mess, but he's back on the horse, so to speak.
Love seeing how someone can rebound from a slow start or a tough start. It means that they're strong mentally. They've kind of calmed themselves down. Everyone's rallied around them. Maybe they even change game planning a little bit in order to make things better for him.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he's got some space here. And avoids the contact by sliding. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a first down as well. The offense lining up first and 10. They'll try and run some clock with Fournette. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. A gain of 3, second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Bortles trying the option to the right. And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45, and it'll be territory. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
A handoff to Fournette. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42. Here we go with 2nd and 7. Now they'll throw it. Bortles stays on his feet. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down. The Jaguars on 3rd down. Not getting the job done at all. A very poor 1 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Working from the gun. It's Bortles. And that is incomplete.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL. But if you drop the football, that position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. Here's Brad Nordman now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it. And out now, here come the Bengals. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you called before, realize it hasn't worked so well. Go to something else. And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Going to give this time to the tailback. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
And that's frustrating for a defense because they've got them pinned down deep. And on the first play, they gave up a run that keeps an offense on schedule.
Yeah, because 3 to 4 yards, that's all you're looking for right there, right?
That's absolutely perfect, really, as a play call. You get 3 to 4 yards on first down. That's what they talk about us all the time, about being ahead of the chains or on target, ahead of schedule. They were after that run.
And a right side completion here by LaFell. They were looking for a cushion from that end zone. He gave it to him. 15 big yards. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arms saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Dalton here from the gun. Looking for his running back, and he's got him. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. 7 yards on the play, and it'll be a second down. Offense staying ahead of the chains here, 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. Dalton, 1st and 10. An incomplete. Crisis averted. Almost picked. Instead, 2nd down. I guess they're in a situation now, 4th quarter, where they're forced to take some chances, but I don't know that that was the type of a chance you want to take.
And that one could very easily have been intercepted. And if it does get picked off, that could possibly seal this one.
So the incomplete pass brings up 2nd down. And Dalton hands to Hill. And he'll get this up to about the 40. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. And the Bengals on 3rd down. The struggle has been real. They have had ample opportunities. They've yet to cash one in. This time it's 3rd and 3. That's caught by his tight end, Uzama. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the 4th quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. And on 2nd and 10 now. Now whistles and a flag, and I believe a Bengal got going a little early there.
False start, offense.
The crowd's not doing that O-line any favors.
Home field advantage is really kicking in, making it very difficult for them to hear the snap count.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. They run a draw here on second down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I think there's a lesson there. Some days you're just having a really tough time, and for the defense, today has been that day. But after that play, what do you learn? You can still make plays even when the other guy's having success against you.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. Fakes the give to Bernard. Dalton. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Calais Campbell in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here's Kevin Huber now, as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Jaguars getting set to go. They've got the lead. Last time had to punt it, though. What's the key to this drive?
I think it's leverage. Big guys up front. You know the motivational speech on the sideline is, guys, give us an opportunity. Protect the passer, create space for our runners, and let's go ahead and get these guys. Low man wins. Let's go do it on this drive.
We'll watch that leverage on this drive. And at this stage of the game, time a factor, time on their side as they just try to eke out the final precious moments of this one. Play action. Now it's Bortles. His throw incomplete. And the defense in desperate need of a stop. They have to get off the field and get the ball back to their offense if they want a chance. They'll try the right side here with Fournette. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves him with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Another run. This time it's Ivory. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Now Leonard Fournette. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. And now with 1:52 to go, we get another pause in the action. A timeout here defensively. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. See if they stay on the ground for second down.
Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end. Three down. Blue 45.
They'll run it again with Fournette. And the hole closes quickly. He gets it across the 35 to the 36-yard line. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. And the defense searches for one more stop here after the run on second down. To throw is Bortles. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Cole. They get 9 yards there, and they get a first down.
Well, they got the yardage they needed there. Picked up the first down, got out of bounds. How about the urgency that they have, as well as they understand where they are in the field?
Fresh set of downs here.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Now Fournette. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
But if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On second down, here's Fournette. It'll go as a gain of 12, and that should just about wrap this one up.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Bortles with a knee to the ground, and that should do it. And Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. The Jaguars are winners here as we say so long from Jacksonville.